Hi, I'm Trisha. When we were kids, my brother Leo and I were inseparable. We really wanted to get a dog, but our parents wouldn't allow it. So, one day, we picked up a stray and nursed it back to health in a treehouse. That's right, we had a cool house and often hung out there together. Everything was going great for a few days. But then, our parents heard it bark. They found out about everything and brought the dog to a shelter. I studied better than my brother and was a goody two-shoes. So, our parents thought it had been Leo's idea to take in the stray. My brother was punished and I was too afraid to tell the truth. After that incident, he didn't talk to me for a whole week. One day, we were playing tea party in the backyard when school bullies led by Mark walked by us. Leo, are you playing toys with your sister? You're such a loser. I am not a loser, and girls suck. He suddenly grabbed my toys and broke them. What have you done? I was so hurt. We argued and stopped talking to each other. One night, I was woken up by the sound of footsteps. Someone was sneaking up to my window. I got scared and screamed. Mom and Dad immediately came running to the noise. At first, they thought it was Leo pranking me, but he was sleeping in his room. We'll install an alarm system tomorrow. Time passed, and my brother and I went to high school. I still studied well. I also played the flute and was a cheerleader. My parents trusted me, so they let me have sleepovers at my friends' houses and even drive the car. Leo was my complete opposite. He hung out with Mark and his company, skipped classes, and pranked the teachers. Mom and Dad were constantly called to school, so they didn't give him much freedom, and that made him angry. You only care about Trisha. One night, I woke up to a loud sound. I jumped out of bed and looked out into the hallway. My parents and brother were already standing there. What happened? Why did the alarm go off? Dad and Leo ran out into the street and looked around the house, but only saw a shadow slipping away into the bushes. Weird. Maybe the alarm system reacted to an animal. Because of that incident, I didn't get enough sleep, and in the morning, I was in for another unpleasant surprise. A pipe in my room burst. After Dad had turned off the water, I realized that my flute case was soaked. The instrument was ruined. Damn it! The audition for the city orchestra is coming up. I decided to ask my parents for help. When I came downstairs, Leo was talking to them. I need money for a ticket. I want to watch the race. And I need a new flute. I have to rehearse before the audition. Our parents looked at each other hesitantly. Money has been tight lately. We can't give it to you both. But the flute is more important. Mom took out the cash and gave it to me. Naturally, Leo immediately lost his temper. Of course, Trisha gets everything she wants again. You don't care about my hobbies at all. Leo, calm down. You can watch the race another time. Trisha will live in your room while we renovate hers. You'll have to move into the closet. Why? Trisha is a girl. Besides, she has to rehearse. Leo was furious, but didn't have much of a choice. The troubles didn't end there. After school, I came to the cheerleader practice and heard some terrible news. We are performing next Friday. As you know, it is very important, so don't let me down. Wanted to groan in frustration. The audition for the city orchestra was scheduled for the next Friday. I couldn't be in two places at the same time. It seemed I would have to choose. I walked down the hallway, trying to decide what was more important to me. I was so lost in thought that I didn't notice Mark and accidentally bumped into him. Well, if it isn't baby Trisha. What a cool backpack. That jerk took my backpack and threw it to his friend. Give it back! Come and get it. The worst thing was that Leo was standing nearby. He saw everything but didn't even try to stop them. On the contrary, he watched me suffer and laughed. What a jerk! That really hurt me. In the end, I snatched the backpack from Mark and left. Leo and I came home together that day. We were greeted by our excited parents. I got a message from a notary. My uncle died in a nearby town. I didn't know him, but he left us a large sum of money. We have to go to that city and sign the documents. We could really use the money. Although it's strange, I didn't know about that uncle of mine. Wow, so we're rich now. Leo and I couldn't go because of school, so our parents went without us. They left me in charge, gave me the car keys, and some money. Trisha, look after your brother. Leo went berserk and growled. He was boiling with anger. I'm not a child to be babysat. Don't argue and behave. It was a wonder Leo didn't blow up on them after hearing those words. After they left, he went to his room and loudly slammed the door shut. In the evening, I was practicing the flute in the living room. I really wanted to get into the orchestra, but I couldn't think of a way to go to the audition and not let the cheerleading team down. Then I noticed that Leo had gone downstairs and was heading out. Where are you going? I have things to do, and I don't have to explain myself to you. Couldn't stop him. I kept practicing for a couple more hours, and then I grew worried. It was already dark, but my brother still hadn't come back. I decided to call him, but he didn't answer. Had he gotten into trouble again? I had been left in charge. If something happened to him, I would be held responsible. I called my classmates and found out something. Mark's having a party tonight. Leo was planning on going. Damn it. I would definitely get into trouble. I took the car keys and went after my brother. As I was leaving the house, I suddenly ran into a stranger. He looked at me in surprise, like he wasn't expecting to see me. Who are you, and what are you doing here? The guy scratched his head thoughtfully. Then I remembered that Mom and Dad had decided to renovate my room after the pipe burst. Ah, you must be here to repair my room. He immediately nodded. Yes, that's me. I got in the car. You should come tomorrow. It's getting late. I got in the car and drove to Mark's house. The music was blasting. I walked in and saw Leo. He was going wild with his buddies. We're going home now. Yeah, right. You can't boss me around, got it? Leave me alone. Mom and Dad told you to be good. If you don't go, I won't give you any pocket money. Mark and his friends burst out laughing. That made Leo even angrier. He grabbed me and led me into the corridor. Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. If you don't go with me, I'll call Mom and Dad. Judging by the look on his face, he wanted to strangle me. But the threat worked and Leo got into the car. He was so furious he couldn't even buckle up on the first try. You'll regret humiliating me like that. I was satisfied and went to bed feeling calm. But I didn't get enough sleep. Leo burst into my room in the morning and shook me by the shoulder. Wake up. You need to make me breakfast, iron my clothes, and take me to school. I stared at him. Are you nuts? They think I'm a stupid kid that needs you to look after me, so come on, look after me. I thought he was joking, but it turned out Leo was serious. It became clear when we came to school. At recess, he suddenly called me to the parking lot. The principal's car was parked there. At first, I didn't realize what was wrong, but then I was stunned. Leo had written and drawn all sorts of indecent things on it. I was horrified. I quickly washed it all off before anyone could see it. It was hard work, and I was even late for class. But the surprises did not end there. When I came to the dining room, everyone was discussing something. Leo turned out to be the one who caused the stir. All the food was multicolored. That little brat had snuck into the dining room and added dye to it. What's going on here? He saw the food and turned red. Who did this? His gaze stopped at Leo. He liked pulling such pranks after all. I realized my brother was about to get in trouble. I couldn't let that happen because I was responsible for him. It wasn't Leo. He spent the whole day with me and did not come to the dining room. I was a perfect student, so they believed me. Nothing happened during the next few classes, and I breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out I shouldn't have. When I passed by a woman's bathroom, I stepped into a puddle. What was that? I looked inside and gasped. It was flooded. Whoa, sister, will you clean it up? I wanted to murder him, but I had no choice. I couldn't let my parents down, so I turned off the water and cleaned up in the bathroom. By the end of the day, I was completely exhausted, and I still had to go to practice. When I walked into the gym, all the girls were standing around someone and laughing like crazy. I came closer and saw something that enraged me. Leo had outdone himself. He had changed into my uniform and was jumping, doing stunts, and waving pom-poms. I grabbed his arm and pulled him away. Stop embarrassing me, Leo smirked. So you can humiliate me, but not the other way around? He actually moves great. He even did the hardest stunts. I was speechless. I came back home completely exhausted after the practice. As I was coming up to the gate, I suddenly saw the repairman in the yard. He was holding a bag of tools in his hand and looking into the window. He seemed a little suspicious, but I let him in anyway. He went straight to the basement. Actually, my room is on the second floor. The repairman gave me a weird look and went upstairs. While he was working, I sat in the living room and looked out the window. Then I noticed that Leo had come home. He was hiding something under his jacket as he climbed up to our treehouse. Was he up to something again? Soon, Leo came in and came up to the refrigerator. I couldn't leave it like that. What did you hide in the treehouse? Nothing. Don't you dare go there. That was it. He was definitely up to no good again. I wanted to press it, but got distracted by the repairman. For some reason, he was doing something to our alarm system. What are you doing? I just noticed a protruding wire and decided to fix it. I have to go now, but I'll be back tomorrow. He left in a hurry. What a weird man. I went back to the kitchen and watched Leo. He took food out of the refrigerator and climbed into the house. I decided to get to the bottom of it and climbed up after him. I expected anything but what I saw. Leo was feeding a little dog. She was wearing a collar with gems. I was so surprised that I froze and watched them in silence. Then, Leo noticed me. I asked you not to come up here. The next second, he looked at me pleadingly. Please don't tell Mom and Dad. I'll stop bothering you. I found this dog in the park. Have you seen her collar? She's not a stray and the owners will be looking for her. What if it's a bandit's dog? Then we'll be in trouble. I'll hang posters. Let her stay here until we find her owner. Okay, I won't tell Mom and Dad. I petted the dog. It was weird. I felt like I had gone back in time. Leo must have been thinking the same thing. We used to play here when we were kids and take care of a stray. Do you remember it? Yes, we used to have fun together. I suddenly had the urge to have a heart-to-heart with him. For the first time in a long while, Leo opened up. It was just like when we were kids. To be honest, I was terribly jealous of you. Mom and Dad always set you as an example to me and didn't care about my hobbies. So I started hanging out with a bunch of bullies and became mean. I was wrong too, when I humiliated you at the party and other times as well. It might be hard to believe, but we made up. I immediately felt better. Soon, Mom called me. We are coming home. Someone fooled us. There was no notary or rich uncle. We came here for nothing. How are you two doing? We're fine, except the master you hired to do repairs is kind of weird. What master? We didn't hire anyone. Don't let him in again. We'll be back soon. I told my brother about it. He looked surprised as well. Who had that man been then? We sat in the treehouse for a while longer before going to bed. At night, we were woken up by the dog barking. Someone had broken into our house. We sneaked down the corridor with the dog in our arms, trying to figure out why the alarm hadn't gone off. Leo looked at it and noticed something. Look, the wire's been cut. I immediately remembered the repairman doing something to it. He was definitely the one at fault. A noise came from the basement. The repairman was there. We quickly locked him in and called the police. But then, the dog started barking again, and someone knocked hard on the door. We looked out the window. There was some sort of gangster standing on our porch. My heart immediately started pounding. Who's that?
Let me in at once!
Leo and I rushed to the treehouse. We wanted to hide there until the police arrived. The man noticed it and ran after us. He caught up to us and stuck his head into the house. At that moment, I wanted to scream. But then, the dog suddenly broke out of Leo's hand and happily licked the bandit's face.
Sweetie, I finally found you.
Wait, are you her owner? The man nodded and we got down.
I'm sorry I scared you. I am ex-military, so I look tough. This dog is my only weakness. I lost her in the park, but I found her thanks to the tracker in her collar. Thank you for taking care of my pet.
We suddenly heard sirens and the police drove up to our house. Then our parents arrived as well. The cops immediately went to the basement and arrested the repairman. They questioned him and everything became clear. It turned out that he had robbed a bank and hid some of the money in the basement of our house many years ago. When I was young, I woke up because someone was sneaking around my room. Remember? Well, it was him. The police had caught him after that. He had served his time and decided to get back the money. However, when he tried to get into our house, he realized we'd installed an alarm system, so he had decided to trick us. He had lied about the inheritance and lured our parents out of the house. However, Leo and I stopped him. The criminal was arrested again and the stolen money was returned to the bank. You are going to be rewarded for this. We were given part of the found money. It was enough to solve our money problems. Mom, Dad, I wanted to ask something. Can Leo and I get a dog? Mom and Dad looked at each other in silence. I thought they would refuse, but they agreed. Soon, we got a pet. Thanks to that, Leo and I grew close again and spent a lot of time together. When the day of the audition came, I went to the concert hall. Just imagine, I was accepted into the orchestra. I was over the moon. Leo performed with the cheerleaders instead of me so as not to let the team down. Except, of course, he wore a men's outfit. That's it. Do you get along with your siblings? Tell us in the comments down below.
Hey squad! Like to see your life in comics? Stories that are so embarrassing that even friends do not know about them. Don't say you don't have such ones. They belong on the Anon Please channel. Check it out! Click here.